I've lived long enough to see that this society is going down the drain. And I found in P2B a human being that can bring back the glory days that we expect when we're youth, when we're young rather. And I can see leadership quality. And with P2B as the president of Nigeria, Africa, not Nigeria, Africa will rise. The hope of Africa rests on Nigeria. And with Nigeria getting it right, Africa will become a focal point of world development.
So I think it's high time we try a different hand. And P2B has promised a better deal for Nigerian people. He has promised he has come up with his manifesto. He has visited a lot of us and a lot of communities and have told us the content of his leadership, which is an all-inclusive governance, and more so it faces the real problems that we face as a people and the nation, which is hunger, starvation and poverty, then insecurity.
To start with, integrity. Integrity is the benchmark, the primary priority why people are on Obi's train. Integrity, accountability, and he's been able to prove it in the past. So why don't we go? Nigeria needs somebody like Obi to manage the country, the economy of the country. Everything is messed up. P2B has everything it takes to deliver Nigeria, to make Nigeria work again. And this is the time to take back this country. It's for the future. The future is so messed up. We don't need a crystal ball to see how messed up this future is. You see what's going on right now? No fuel, no cash. We queue for everything in this country. But P2B has come to change the narrative. New Nigeria, the era, we don't need to change the narrative. Everything has to change. Nigeria should work again. Nigeria has every potential to work as a country. We have everything it takes. Think about mineral resources. Think about the population, the most populous black nation in the world, the giant of Africa, and see how things are going because of this PDP and APC government. They've been changing themselves they come from this party to the other party. It's been them all along. This is the time to change the narrative, to take back our country. The country should work again. Nigeria must work this time with Peter Gregory Obi. I bet you.
My motivation is that we have suffered a lot in this country. As in, when you look at the major contestant, you cannot but accept that Peter Obi is the best. You know, with the way he talks, with his background, with his records, you know, you can see that he's the best. And with the Nigerian youth, we are always the most affected in everything that is happening in this country. And we have taken it upon ourselves to entrench leadership that will mean well for the youth of this country. So when we see Peter Obi, we see a leader that embodying the burden of Nigerian youth. I believe that is what is pouring us, that is what is giving us that energy. For wherever you are, plenty of people here, they have graduated for years, they have no job. So many of them are victims of terrorism, so many of them have been victims of flood, and there seems to be no end in sight to all the many problems. But with Peter Obi, there is a ray of hope that this country can be great again. So that is it.
We want a change in this country from the top to the grassroots. Because our principal, Peter Obi, came out, every other thing is turning into shape, and I glorify God for that. I want to encourage every person, however you can, let us have this change of narrative that can make you and I, our children yet unborn and generation yet unborn, to smile, so that tomorrow they don't ask you, what did you do when the thing was like this? You will have a positive answer to give. That is my movement, that is my pursuit, and that is my prayer. I want to say Labour Party, Papa, Mama, Pikin.
Politics is all about choice and individual mindset for the betterment of the people. When the people are being oppressed and you see that the government that is leading you are not giving you what you want as an individual or as a citizen, you have to fight for your freedom. And the freedom which we are fighting for today in Nigeria is not by weapon or by violence, but by our PVC. I was a member of PDP. Then, even I was opportune to be among those who they empowered in Ekaland, but I turned it down based on I discovered P2B. I'm a man that believes in selflessness, oneness, live and let others live, not those who use their power to oppress others.
I choose P2B because he's a man that I've seen that is a sincere person, very straight. We have seen his record from what he has done in the past, and this is a movement. I'm not a politician, I'm just an ordinary Nigerian, but I've seen that this guy is very, very straight because what he has done in the past is speaking for him. And this is a man that is very humble, despite all the things that I've been saying about him, but no, he still loves them. And he wants to make a change, a different change, a positive change. We have been hearing of change, but this change is not just a change, but a change that will go to the grassroots.
P2B has been a father for all, a brother for all. He kept a legacy. He was a governor of Anambra State. He was there for 8 years. You see, he served Anambra State very well. I think so far, he stands to be the best governor in the federation. He kept a legacy. The money he kept in the account of the state, no governor have done that since I was born. I've never seen it anywhere.
We just have to vote wisely. We the youth, we have to make like the enforcement we put into this race is with all we have, because we want a better Nigerians. We are tired of suffering, for God's sake. So we just have to make the right choice by voting wisely.
Power is very intoxicating and it's not easy to let go, but they have no choice. Have you seen the movement? Labour Party is just the vehicle to achieving a larger objective. That's the movement. The youth, 60% of the population of this country. Some of them, 90% of them are not Labour Party members, but they believe in the Obi-Datti concept. And I tell you, nothing can stop it. It's a project whose time has arrived.
As it is, we are all victims of the bad system. If it gets better, I believe it's for all of us. Just like today, the dollar exchange, you won't say you're PDP or APC, you're going to get a discount like this fuel scarcity. When you go to the filling station, you won't say, they won't tell you you're PDP or APC or Labour Party, you're going to get a discount. You know, so we are all involved in this. That is why I implore everybody, each and every one of us, to get hands on board so that we can try to install P2B for good governance. Because we've tried PDP for 24 years and there's nothing to show for it.
For those sitting on the fence, most of those sitting on the fence, they are sitting on the fence because they still have something they're benefiting from the Ukowa government. But on that day, they will move to the right direction. They're going to be on the right path where they should be. There will be nobody sitting on the fence then. As a matter of fact, I bet you, Delta State is 90% obedient. I don't want to mention names, but they are with us all the way.
For me, this election is a matter of life and death. For you understand, it is obvious that we are suffering in this country. Except you want to isolate yourself, except you want to tell us that you live in isolation. You know, if you are in this country, you accept that we are suffering in this country. Look at how much people are buying fuel. Look at how much people are spending money to even buy naira. Naira is now becoming a commodity, a scarce commodity in Nigeria. Look at the poverty. Look at everything. There's no light. There's no fuel. There's nothing. So there's no. It doesn't make sense for people to sit on the fence. Because if you sit on the fence, you can't sit on the fence when the problems come. Because the problem will meet you, even on the fence. So this is the time for people to take a stand. Take a stand for progress. Take a stand for prosperity. Take a stand for a new Nigeria. If not for yourself, but for the sake of the future generation, the children that are coming. Because if we don't take a stand today, tomorrow those children are going to hold us responsible. And it is not going to be funny, you know, for us. So that is just it. Anybody standing on the fence is not doing himself any good. You understand? Because the future is going to hold us accountable. We have to fight for the future of this country.
Now P2B came up. We are no longer interested in those who share the money, the national cake to themselves and bring peanut to the less privileged and the poor. But we want a better Nigeria and one Nigeria. With P2B in this race for a better Nigeria, a new Nigeria is possible. So that is why I left the party to Labour Party.
Structure is a mere English. The man does not have structure. We have seen more than a structure. Because if able to change people's orientation, this is a man with been ordained by God to redesign the future of this nation. You've been hearing us pray, Father, let thy kingdom come. Let thy kingdom come. Let thy will be done. What is a kingdom? A kingdom is a nation. A kingdom is a nation that where God rules. We want a nation that where we rule. We want his will to be done. And he has chosen somebody. So I sought for a man that will stand in the gap, that will not destroy the line. God cannot use a dirty person to clean up people.
The truth is there now. It's not no big deal. There's no big deal about it. Everybody knows what's happening in Nigeria, and we know the truth. With everything, the motivation, the state he is, he's somebody who is here to liberate the nation. And seeing it, I'm not saying he's a perfect person, but seeing in every the whole aspect of what and the kind of person he is, he's not perfect, but he will make a change, definitely.
If you look at the going on in the north now, they are rebelling now. You understand? That tells you a story. Not to talk of the educated ones in the south. The northern rebellion is a story to behold. And I tell you, by 25th of February, our lives won't be the same again.
You know, so the motivational drive actually is for all of us to join hands collectively, then take back our nation once and for all, for the better tomorrow for us, our children, generation next, and yet unborn.
If he had done well, he would have been in his train. But for the past 8 years, basically for the past 24 years, he's been in government. And check out how Delta looks. Check out how messed up, how poverty has taken over everywhere. Insecurity, nothing to write home about. So if he's done well, we would have been on his train. But because of the records P2B has set, right from Anambra State, right from his business management, he's been able to manage multinational companies. He knows to manage a state as tough as Anambra State. Look at what he got out of it, you know. So we're on the moving train.
The thing that prospered me into P2B's campaign group is his personality. He has been tested, he is trusted, and we can trust him again. We can trust the country into his hands, not by his power, but by the power of God. He's a mandate that is divine, and that is why I prayed, and I know that Peter Obi is the right person for that position.
Just take your voters card that day, even if you can't, just do the one you can and leave the rest for God. Definitely. Who the person that God has destined to be into that state and into that position will get it. So the youth should just do all they can to vote Peter Obi for the next president of Nigeria.
I want to remind us once again, when you get to that place, you are not going to see Labour Party, you are going to see the logo LP. I call LP Love of the People. That is Labour Party. When you see LP, where they have Papa, Mama, Pikin, just thumbprint there. We are winning, and 25th we are going to celebrate.